Brian Little.
Alright, well, two things. I haven't been clean shaven in over a year, and it's been a long time since I've done a vlog. So, bear with me. Brand new start to the day, so let's get it started. So what's going on, guys? This is your boy Got a Milliga. Today we're going to be talking about my most recent purchase. If you guys missed out on the previous video, I'll link that in the top right hand corner of your screen. Today we're going to be talking about my 2004 Volkswagen Passat W8, otherwise known in the Volkswagen community or in the car community in general who knows about these cars, the most unreliable Volkswagen has ever made. Now, a lot of people say that, and before you guys start commenting away, a lot of people say that because they've never owned one. Now, I'm here to clear up all the misconceptions, all the misunderstandings, because this car I've daily driven for the last 2.5 months, and it's been such a solid daily driver, let me tell you. So, for those of you who are new to the channel and are just now joining me, I've been around Volkswagens quite often, probably more often than I probably should have, because I ended up hating them. So, and I know you're probably asking yourself, if you hate Volkswagen so much, why the f do you own one? The answer to that is rather quite simple, and I'm going to explain that throughout this entire video. The W8 Passat is the first vehicle Volkswagen ever produced with this engine layout. The reason why they made this car is it was technically a guinea pig to the up-and-coming Phaeton, which would house either a V8 or a W12. Now, the W8 engine itself would later be preceded by the W16 that's infamously in the Bugatti Veyron. Now, with this car specifically being the guinea pig, obviously there's gonna be some pretty common bugs and issues that'll come with the territory of owning this particular car. Now, a lot of the problems that people have with this car is also a B5.5 Passat problem combined with the engine and transmission problem. So, in the United States, there was only about, I believe, 4,500 made, I believe, don't quote me on that. A lot of them, I would say about 80% of them were automatic transmission vehicles. So this car was offered in a wagon and a sedan. I have the sedan. The wagon version of this car is even harder to find, and a lot of the times the main failing component of this of the W8 specifically is the automatic transmission's torque converter not holding up to par with the power that this car makes, which is sad because you think that Volkswagen would know this, considering the fact that they also made the Audi S4 in the Tiptronic transmission, which it's surprising to me that the transmission or the torque converter ended up being trash. This car particularly that I'm driving right now is a 6-speed manual. A 6-speed manual car is super difficult to find. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Manual transmission in the W8 Passat was not standard. It was an option. It's almost as if you had to order one, basically. So with that being said, the numbers for a manual transmission W8 Passat is very low. As a matter of fact, there was only 400 or so ever built. A lot of people tend to go after these cars, especially Volkswagen enthusiasts, because believe it or not, this car is a future Volkswagen classic. And I had to jump on the deal. The car was very fairly priced. My car specifically was very well maintained for the first 100,000 miles. And it also was a car from Florida, so there's absolutely no rust. So it was literally the best thing ever. And like I said, the Achilles heel to the W8 Passat is the automatic transmission. Now, obviously, there's the thermostat problems, there's the injector problems that this car has, there's the camshaft sensor problem that this car has too. There's a lot of problems, but at the same time, you have to really do your research, because a lot of the people who own these W8 Passats have driven them for over 200 and 300,000 miles. And those are people who own the automatic transmission cars, because believe it or not, you can still rebuild the automatic transmission and make it bulletproof. But obviously I prefer the manual transmission because I don't like dealing with all that crap. Now, people call this the most unreliable Volkswagen ever made because when it did break, it was very, very costly to replace parts. It was impossible to find parts for to begin with. And the repair manual was not a Volkswagen repair manual. Believe it or not, it was a Bentley repair manual. So, you can only imagine how, you know, messed up things are in the maintenance department for this car. But for the most part, the engine itself, if taken care of, is rather bulletproof. Now, with me owning the W8 Passat for about almost 3 months now, I could tell you right now, the only problems I've ever had with this car is general maintenance problems. So I have a speed sensor that's going bad, the spark plugs need to be replaced, the valve cover gasket needs to be replaced, the thermostat needs to be replaced. So it's a lot of common W8 maintenance issues that just need to be addressed, but that just comes with the mileage. My car has 106,000 miles. That's pretty low mileage for a car this old. So man, I love this car. Got a Maliga. Why the hell did you buy one? You always, you constantly say that Volkswagens are pieces of dirt and blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go back to my previous saying of what this car is going to be in the future. This Volkswagen that I'm sitting in right now is only going up in price, and it is becoming a cult favorite among Volkswagen enthusiasts. So a lot of Volkswagen owners want to get their hands on this car just to say they owned one. And this car is it's so comfortable. I've taken this car to Ocean City. I drove it from Winchester, Virginia, and it is so comfortable. The heated seats, they work. The AC works fantastic. It's like my diesel Passat, but even better. When I found this particular car, I couldn't pass it up. This car has such a unique engine sound. It is addicting, and that is another reason why I bought this car, because the way it sounds is, oh my god. I'm gonna play a clip for you guys here. It's just absolutely insane. And the first thing I did after I got this car inspected was chop the mufflers off, because I wanted to own a W8 Passat that sounded like the ones that I heard in the videos. Now the videos, mind you, don't do it justice whatsoever, because the car actually sounds different on camera than it does in person. In person, it has a VR6 growl down low and a flat plain V8 up top. It's oh man, it's just insane how good this car sounds. So, but other than that, ownership of this car has been very smooth. A lot of people give this car a lot of crap, mainly because they probably owned a very bad one. Much like any used car in the current market, you have to really do your research in order to make sure that you don't get a bad car. So what I'm trying to say is, you got to properly inspect the car. You got to make sure it has a service history and all this other stuff, because if the car doesn't have any of that stuff, it's going to be a crappy car. Let's face it. And I already bit the bullet once with the Skyline, and I promised myself I wouldn't do it again with this car. And I picked up a solid car. Very solid. The seats themselves look like nobody's even farted in these seats. Like, that's how good the previous owner took care of this car. So, that's my experience owning a W8 Passat currently. Obviously, I'm going to keep you guys updated on the experience as we go along. And there's not a lot of footage on YouTube of this car either. Hopefully I can sort of put it in the internet archives that this car actually does exist, and it is a pretty fun little ride. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Leave your comments and opinions of what you think about the W8 Passat. I would love to hear any experiences you may have had with the car, if you previously owned one or still currently own one. So just let me hear it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been your boy God of Maliga. I'll catch you guys on the next one, and I'm out. Peace.